Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Today, I received an article from my cousin, and I thank him very much for that. And my cousin Bogdan has a very much interest on France and the French nation. I don't. I consider the whole issue a lost cause. He is following because he speaks French very well. He can read and he can understand their debates. Nevertheless, he sent me one article with Marine Le Pen. And he told me before that it's very strange that in France, these guys seem to play ball. And it's more obvious, according to him, it's more obvious that they pretend they are in the opposition and the other guys are in power and so on. And unfortunately, I gotta tell you, Marine Le Pen kind of falls from grace. Unless she is quoted or not quoted, just bits and pieces from whatever she says. It's about Israel and the Palestinian State, where Marine Le Pen makes some statements that makes you maybe scratch your head or maybe you are aware. Now, you maybe know that for me, in order to test someone's intellectual honesty, I ask usually about 2 questions on 2 subjects. And I figure out if the person is dishonest intellectually or not. That is, if it's logical up to those 2 subjects, and at that 2 subjects, that person gets a reset, turns retard. So the first subject is Israel and Palestine and the Middle East, and I see how the person reacts to that. The second one usually has to do with religion or with Putin and Russia. Putin and Russia usually are connected to Israel. So a person who hates Putin and Russia loves Israel. Okay? And the second one, as I said, usually is a religious question. That I ask, do you think that Noah built the ark when he was 600 years old and he died when he was 900 years old? And if that person is able to do mental gymnastics that is not really honest and telling me yes, then we can talk about weather, we can talk about sports, maybe some wine, and that's about it. Wine is too complicated still. So, what do we have here? Let's start with the first news. France recognizes Palestinian State. Now, I said when Macron, I think personally was hurt by the, okay? And when he made his government, made a decision to recognize Palestine as a state, a lot of people, including Netanyahu, called him anti-this. We should not care. You should not care if you're called any anti-this or ist or xeno. Do not care. Just be yourself, okay? They try just to put you on the defensive. So when they said, Mr. Kushner, the ambassador, U.S. ambassador to France, Kushner, the father of Donald Trump's son-in-law, he said that anti-Semitism is on the rise in France. And Macron said, beat it, fuck off, all right? Which I think they should be told that. I'm not interested, bye, it's not my problem. Well, no, it's not. It's not my problem, right? Who cares? You? Okay, you care. I don't. So that's the first thing. I said he committed political suicide. Macron. And I think Macron, being at the second term, probably he was not offered any big position. Like what kind of position can you get after you are the president of France? UN, what? UN, NATO? You're nothing. You're just a secretary. So therefore he knows he's done. So he recognized the Palestinian state. And all hell broke loose and these guys attacked Macron. But Macron comes back and says this one right here. Gaza does not qualify as genocide. End quote, Macron. The French president disagrees with a recent United Nations report on Israel's war in the Palestinian enclave. Based on what evidence do you disagree with that? I mean, you can't just say, I it doesn't qualify. You have a report. Does France, does your government made an objective report? If not, based on what you say no? You can say no, but then the question in the Greco-Roman civilization is why? Why? Remember the Socratian method. Why? Why? So again, why Macron? You tell me. And he's going to say, okay, he tries to kind of make it nicer. But the France recognized the Palestinian state. And now here comes Brigitte Bardot, Marine Le Pen. Here, this is kind of an article that he sent. He sent it on French, Bogdan, but I said I would use it in English. Newsweek. All right, here. Marine Le Pen reacts to Macron's Palestinian move. Remember, she's the far-right anti-Semite Le Pen. This is 1 month ago. Right? Here it is. French far-right leader Marine Le Pen accused French President Emmanuel Macron of legitimizing the October 7 attack by Hamas with his decision to recognize a Palestinian state. So Macron said a long time ago that he intends to, and I covered that, intends to recognize the Palestinian state. Today is the day, right there. Details to follow, breaking news, right there. And then you have, nothing's going to happen, don't worry. They recognize it just for the people. They do this to appease the masses, the demonstrations. That's what they do. They will do actually nothing to promote that. They will just say, yes, like any other 140 other states in the United Nations, they recognize Palestine as a state. 140. Anything happened? Nothing. And nothing will happen from now on. They will say, yes, we recognize it, but they will not move a finger to do anything. What can we do? You got Israel, nuclear weapons. Israel got the United States of America by the balls. So sit down and shut the fuck up. Basically, that's the order. So let's see what she says. Very, very revealing. Remember, she's supposed to be the anti-Semite and all that. Macron shared a statement on Thursday, July 24, saying that he had decided that France will recognize the state of Palestine, end quote, and that he would make a formal announcement before the United Nations General Assembly in September. Today. And I'm quoting, this is Marine Le Pen. To recognize the Palestinian state today is to recognize the Hamas state. Really? Really? Who is she working for? And therefore a terrorist state. End quote. Marine Le Pen said on X, formerly Twitter. Macron's move brings to a head months of increasing French criticism of Israel's conduct in its war against Hamas, the Islamic group. Okay? Of the 193 United Nations member states, approximately 147 currently recognize the State of Palestine, which was granted non-member observer status at the UN. In 2012, Israel, which is a full member of the United Nations, is currently recognized by around 165. Tomorrow, these guys are going to be more recognized than Israel. Got it? So, Marine Le Pen was indicted and charged. I think it was also already convicted. And she's banned from running for president, for office, not for office, in France for embezzlement charges. So maybe we know who brought those charges and who took care of Miss Marine Le Pen in court. I like her father. Okay? He died. Anyway, she is a very much wash-up of what he was. But he was a bad dude. We all are supposed to hate that guy because that little group tells us so through their mass media in our countries. You understand? All right. So this is Marine Le Pen. It's a mistake, man. It's a mistake to do that. What's going on over there? Well, that's exactly what's going on. When I said that Trump was allowed to become the US President of the United States of America, he probably was offered the same deal. There is the jail for you, Donnie. You see how many, tribunals we have here? Courts open for you. You're gonna get in jail at 80 years old and your family will be destroyed. your empire, your dynasty, political, economic, financial dynasty that you think you build is going to be destroyed, followed until the end, erased, grazed. And Trump, I think, got the message and says, okay. And that's why he is about the Middle East. That's what I think. Maybe crazy, but as a free person, I'm allowed to be crazy and let you know that I'm crazy, right? And let you know what crazy ideas I have. And unless I promote violence, unless, right, I instigate to violence, unless I promote child things and other things, I should be allowed with no repercussions. This is free speech. You don't like it? Turn off, get the fuck out of my channel. That's how I look at it. But running away is running from some other crazy person's ideas without fighting them, just disliking them. I dislike a lot of things, my friends. Anyway, but are they right or are they wrong? If you don't stand or you don't sit around and think about it, are those ideas that I don't like good or bad? Let's say I don't like diversity, like racial diversity or ethnic diversity. I don't like it. Is it good or bad? Well, ask the Yugoslavians or ask the Czechoslovakians and ask them how great that was. Somehow here is great, over there was bad, my friends, okay? So it's not a good thing, I would say. That's why I don't like it, because it destroys the host country. And who's going to control it? Well, it's like diluting something. Divide and impera. Divide and conquer, right? Or control, whatever you want to call it. So here is Marine Le Pen. Are those guys in France just playing around? I think so. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.